XDB, I definitely want to check it because there was some nice price action there recently. It actually had a very interesting V-shaped recovery since that wick down all the way down to 0.00231. It moved, let's just measure this. If anybody was brave enough to get in, that's a fabulous 500% increase on the price. Obviously hard to catch the very bottom, very top, but it's just to show the movement, what it did, how it reacted. I shared a very interesting thread on Twitter about XDB. It was actually a good friend of mine who shared it. Very unbiased look. He put a few facts together. Basically, shortly after actually he posted this, it was surrounding the XDB FUD, everything that went on with the their financial issues that the club was actually having. What was actually happening. He posted, I'm going to make sure to put this into the description of the video as well. So guys, when you're watching this about XDB, you can give it a read. It really shows a bigger picture of what was going on, and it wasn't just only digital bits that were, should have been given this sort of treatment. But obviously we're in the market, but this is different. This is an asset that was associated with them. It just had that effect on the chart. A lot of FUD. There was obviously a lot of uncertainty with the way they unlocked so many coins. Not great when you increase the circulating supply so quickly and so unexpectedly. Yeah, and I think he just concludes in saying that he's hopeful that we're going to see hear of some statements from Danielle. Any confusion that is still there in the between the partnerships between the two companies. And how this is going to affect the price action. So I know there are a lot of fans and a lot of people. Like myself personally, I was trading it as well. When I think we were trading it here, where we have that many interesting lines that are showing up. Shortly after, the big FUD that with the amount of coins that were released happened, and obviously we've seen the reflection on the chart. It was a very risky trade. Again, don't beat yourself up if you didn't get in. It was definitely hard to see this become a bottom. It would have been an interesting level to get in around here, where you saw this sort of reversal around 0.04 mark, where those 2 weeks happened. You had the retest and then push higher. This would have been an interesting level to get in. I wasn't paying a lot of attention to it. I kind of left it to its own device. But currently, just let's zoom in as well and check on the daily chart what we are looking at. There aren't any more. I'm going to just mark that line I was talking about a second ago, because we are not really seeing sorry guys, when I'm talking and I'm trying to do the same thing at the same time. So we had this level that was a bit of a bounce, and we're going to mark that. I know they're very close to each other. It's just 41 and 44, but when it comes to so many decimals, you get nice returns, especially when you're a scalper, when you see and I think you can use leverage on XDB. So again, look at those vector candles, guys. We had the red here and eventually got all a level with the green. And then on the other end, then you always look left, you had that green here and then all the reds. So obviously being more optimistic here, when we're looking at that, we see this massive red candle here. Obviously, we'd have to go through this resistance here that is just marking it. I'm going to show you now on the daily chart that it is hitting 50 EMA, that 50 EMA, pesky EMA, but it's a great, indicator for traders. People trade of EMAs a lot and how they act as resistance. So we are seeing this obviously as resistance at the minute, this level. I'm gonna mark it for you here as well. As you can see, it hit the candle here, we had the hit here, and then obviously this is the hit here. If XDB wants to move higher, let's go to the daily chart, or even 3 days. Let's check how this is shaping up. It's retesting now the certain levels. Forget the blue line, guys. So what we want XDB to do, right, so you see this red vector candle here, right? Okay, what we want to see is just see the bounce from around 0.6 maybe. You have that wick here, you have that wick here, and then you obviously have this area here from September where it was just your flip point again. If it doesn't reclaim more than 50% of this candle, I'm going to put in fibs now as well, guys, just to check. This is a 3-day time frame, and see how this is shaping up. And zoom in just so we can see a little bit better. So that would have been our local high, and this would have been our local low. Just to be very precise with that. Currently, let's go to the daily, because it is going to be much better view what the daily candles are actually doing for us right now. So it is really looking like the 50 EMA, this is what I wanted to show you guys. The 50 EMA is acting at that as that resistance. I think that I had a post about XDB, and when I said to you guys, just, you know, you'd wanted to build support and go strongly above the 50 EMA. It did that, but it didn't hold. It just went up just above the cent, actually nearly 15. Wow, 1.6, but it just swiftly has given us like that one drop level 1, and then it's trying to do something here. It's just not a lot of strength. That 50 EMA is acting as resistance. You see the 0.32 fib, and then 236, and obviously that big red vector candle. So if it drops more than 50% of that big vector candle, most likely it's gonna go back and take it all, and most likely it will even go back and retrace all the way down to the bottom of the blue one. This is where you'd have to be cautious as well, because this is that double M, that double top that's forming here. So we have that, and then it could be just a lower M point where you be seeing it retrace all the way back down to those levels again. It very much depends on what the project is doing, what the market condition is going to be like, and how they're going to move on from here. Are there going to be any interesting developments? Obviously, anything from Danielle, from the project itself coming out to us would be amazing and bullish. You'd want this definitely come back above the 8 mark, and you're seeing those red vector candles to the left, where you can think about maybe taking your profits again. It has potential to go higher, But if you're trading it, be very careful. Think about stop losses and think about, I mean, it's given some strength here with the green dot on the daily. I like, no, 10 hours there. Let's check that. If this even pushes above this level, just be careful that it can still, you know, it can still come up here to this level and give that very much, like, you know, very prominent this would still be, you know, a failed fake out here if we reverse from here. But if it pushes up to around those levels above the 1 cent and reverses, just be careful, be mindful, and grab your profits. It's still a market of getting into a trade, entering quickly, with proper stop losses, and basically taking all the profits as you go. People never went poor from grabbing money. This is what I'm thinking when I'm looking at XDB. I haven't seen more about it since I read this thread. I think it's a very interesting thread, very unbiased, interesting look, just to kind of give you an idea. Like I said, you can read it in the video description.